Hey, here we are live with Shut Up and Listener. I'm here with my bestie, Tiffany Kane. Hey, Tiffany.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm a little hazard. I'm late. I made us late today, everybody. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So,
We've had
it's
some
my
tech
fault.
tech
It's my
issues,
fault.
all different things. It's all good. It's all good. We're here. We made it. I'm trying out new features today, so I've got all kinds of like fun little things, but we're going to be talking all about shame today. And this was your idea, Tiffany, so I'm going to
Mhm.
let you kind of set the tone.
Awesome. This is something I've been thinking about a lot. And anybody who has been kind of following my journey on Instagram, because I'm sharing my medical story on Instagram, has probably saw my latest episode where I completely lost it in the doctor's office. And it's
Mhm.
mostly faceted of why I lost it. There's lots of contributing factors, but one of the things I think that added to it was a pervasive feeling of shame that I think a lot of patients carry, that somehow our medical issues are our fault. And I think we carry it into the room. And I think a lot of medical providers maybe not meaning to, but they layer on to that shame and maybe even add more shame to us. So I kind of wanted to talk about the shame we carry into the room, the shame that we feel from the medical providers, whether they mean to or not. And I don't know, ideas for how to like not walk into the room with shame. Like it is a struggle I'm in right now, that I'm trying to figure out how to do. And I wanted to talk to you about it today and talk to everybody that listens to us and just come to this together, I guess.
Yeah, it's 100% real, and I wanted to dive into something because, you know, when we say the doctors here's my thing, okay, so I feel it when I go in the room, I feel the way they look at me or say something to me, the way they talk to me, it's maybe some gaslighting, it's just, and then there and I get from my experience is why haven't you come to see us sooner? Like,
Mm.
why has it been so long since you've been in to see us? And I'm just like, because when I come in here, you don't help me. Like,
Right. Why waste the money?
they're
Why
just
waste the time?
throwing it on me. And I've been doing things. It's not that I don't do things in my personal life and I'm not really worried about how I'm eating and I'm making all this homemade food that's all really healthy for me and super low in sodium and I'm doing all of these great things. Sure, I have days where I have a slice of pizza that's absolutely horrendous for me, right? Because I'm a human being and I make mistakes. But in that
And
one
also you
slice of
gotta live a
I gotta
little.
live a little, right? And
You got
sometimes it is what
to.
it is. But 95% of the time, I'm doing
Hmm.
everything by the book and as they recommend it, and it's not helping me. And I'm taking all the pills and I'm doing all the things, and I'm going in to see my at least my primary never makes me feel bad about anything. She has
That's
no
good.
help whatsoever as far as like I have no answers for you, and I don't know why this is happening. But she'll say that to me. Right. She'll be like, you just want to get labs so you can keep. I go, yep, I just want labs. I just want to know. And she's like, well, maybe I'll give you this referral and see if this helps. And and, but she can't really do anything. Right. She's
Yeah.
like, well, you have to go to your cardiologist. You have to go, blah, blah, blah. And so I don't go to my cardiologist like I should. And then when I do decide, I have to wait months before I even get in to see him, which is now what I'm in a waiting game. I made the appointments in early October and I see him in January. So there you go.
Oh
That's
gosh.
that's the speed at which we travel.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
heart could be failing, don't even know it, won't get the stuff, need whatever. But it's also in we're proactive in what we're doing. So
Hmm.
I read my chart, I read the doctor's notes, I read everything that they say about everything because we have online access to all of the stuff.
Yeah.
And in the notes, I can see it. I can say, she's just fat. She needs to see a dietitian. And I'm like, y'all, this is water weight on my body. And so not only am I carrying this invisible weight of shame and sadness, I'm also carrying this water weight which they're not solving, right?
Yep.
So I when I come in and I go to sit down on the exam table with the plastic paper whatever thing that's across it, I am already sitting in a pile of my own junk,
Yep.
and it sucks.
Yep.
And I'm also upset, and frustrated. And I think something as women, what we struggle with is we always serve ourselves last. We always put ourselves,
Mhm.
we always do everything for ourselves last. And we're always told just to, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all and just smile and be accommodating.
Mhm.
Don't don't make any waves. And we're just supposed to be this thing, right? That's and so we come in there already with all of that crap
Yep.
been piled on for so long that it makes it so hard to get past that, to find any kind of a solution with people, with
Yep.
doctors in this world. That's
And
my
it,
struggle.
it makes it hard. It makes the conversations with the doctor so much harder. I know for me, like a big thing for me, I've had body dysmorphia and disordered eating pretty much my whole life, right? Like, I mean, even as a little girl, um, my mom was very overweight, and my dad thought he was helping my sisters, and I have two little sisters. And, so he's got three daughters that he doesn't want to be fat like their mom. And so he would constantly comment on what we're eating, comment on our belly. Oh, look at your big belly. Look at your big booty. Look at your blah, blah, blah. So it's like from almost toddlerhood, like that message constant. And I don't think he didn't mean anything bad by it. He's not an evil man. He was just trying to make us really aware of what we eat in our bodies and all of that. But it puts in that something is wrong with my body message over and over. And then having a mother who is morbidly obese and has serious mental health issues and serious eating disorders, walking in on her like gorging and, like there, I remember one time my mom was just gorging herself and I was like, Mom, stop. And she went, "Rah," and like let all the food fall out of her. Like it's very, I grew up with that, right? And it's all very it creates patterns of thinking in your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then when you go into a doctor's office and they cannot see beyond your BMI and that somehow all of your problems are either your BMI or your anxiety, it's very frustrating. And you carry that shame. So not only is it frustrating, but you're going in with that shame of already being like, oh, I had to stand on the scale and I had to see my weight and somebody wrote down my weight and put it in the computer. Like it's shame upon shame upon shame. And then the doctor comments on it and then it's on the report really big. And that's my shame that I'm carrying into that room that gets compounded by all of this. And then when they start saying, well, you really need to eat better and you really need to exercise without asking, how do you eat? How do you exercise? Like,
Right.
what a different conversation if a doctor said, okay, so in a lot of cases with these health issues, lifestyle makes a big difference. What are you already doing? Let's see what tweaks we can make. Let's see how we can help, right? Instead, it's don't eat canned food, exercise. You need to get half an hour exercise a day. Don't eat fried food, don't, da, 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 da. And I'm like,
Yep.
I already do all of that. So,
Exactly.
but it's a very, nah, 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 nah. And then they put in their
Okay.
notes, counseled the patient on lifestyle. I'm like, that was not counseling.
That was
So,
not, yeah, that was, yeah,
yeah,
that's not what we absolutely don't need to hear that. Yeah.
yeah.
And so it, I would love a conversation where they would come in and be like, well, the scale's gone up and let's take a look at how we're treating you
Hmm.
to see what's going on,
Right.
because I don't want you to come into I don't want you to but okay, you've changed. You're in the crap gown, right? You're sitting
Hmm.
there, you're waiting for them to come in. Maybe you've waited 15 minutes. You're hearing all of the noises in the hallway, but you know the noise. You know the noise when the doctor is outside of your room and he's grabbing your chart or he's flicking that little
Hmm.
thing on the door that says he's in this room. You know that he's already looked at all of that stuff,
Yep.
right? You feel that. So when they come in the door, they're either on their tablet or in a paper reading through just some statistics that they have
Yeah.
already made an assumption about.
Yes.
And so you're just like, you take a deep breath, you feel it, right? Stress is now, blood pressure's up. You're just like, I know, I saw the scale too, right? And instead of coming in and saying, wow, there's been a lot of changes since the last time I saw you. What are we doing? What's changed for you and what you're doing that we can look at and see what's going on, instead of coming in with an assumption of, well, we haven't seen you in a while and it looks like you've been really putting on a lot of weight and your numbers for whatever don't look great.
Mhm.
And are you exercising? Like, am
Mhm.
I? Am I? I don't know. Are you eating right? You're assuming that I am not doing those things. And I will tell you at this point, I am not exercising because it's literally impossible for me to do that.
Yeah.
So no, you're going to have to do something extreme to get this water off of me so that I can. Because if I can get back to my regular shape, then I can move a lot better and I don't fall over with excruciating pain in my back because I'm carrying 2 5-gallon jugs of water around everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Right? 2 of them, 10 gallons of water everywhere I freaking go. I am carrying that. I would like to see you do your day with 2 of those great big containers of water. I want to see you carry those around with you and everywhere you go. And I want them only strapped to the front of you so that your balance is completely thrown off, so that your back is hurting you so bad and your knees are so weak that they just want to crumble. And that is your everyday, so that every time you do anything for more than maybe 5 minutes, you are exhausted and in pain and out of breath. And life is so hard, and stairs are something you don't even want to look at. Right. So before they come in the room, I want them to walk in my shoes for a minute. I think their attitude would be a lot different with me when I came in if they had spent 20 minutes in my shoes, 30 minutes in my shoes, because I'm coming in there and I know I'm bringing a lot of attitude and a lot of my own things with me. But if it would be nice for just one person to look at you and say, this has to be hard. Let's
Yes.
take a look and see what's going on.
Yes.
And tell me that they're open, because in the biggest struggle that I've had, and I liken this a lot to like women that have been through maybe abuse. And the reason we don't share a lot of our feelings, and the reason we keep it nice and don't cause any problems and smile through it all and don't complain, is because we see ourselves as strong women. We are strong women. We are great at our jobs. We bust our butt all day long. We do things that are incredible. We keep our families together, whatever it might be, whatever it is we are going through. And this is shameful to us because we feel failure in what we are and how we are. I feel failure. I don't look in the mirror. I will not. I sit on camera all day. I will not look at myself on camera. I do not like to see recordings of myself on camera anymore. I don't feel good about any of the clothes that I wear. I don't feel good walking down the street. I carry this with me everywhere I go. So for once, I would love to go into a doctor and have him just say, or her say, you're really struggling. Let's take a look, because this isn't working. How many times do I have to go in and have you see me to say, we've tried all these things, they're not working. There has to be some other reason. Something else has to be wrong.
Just the compassion in this must be so hard for you is amazing. The reason I have been thinking a lot about shame is the difference between my doctor's appointment that my video went viral, Brie. I've never gone viral before. Like, I don't know. Like, this is not like, if I get 500 views on a video, I'm like, oh my God, 500 views. This is so exciting. So, to have 150,000 views and all these people commenting like it's crazy. So to that experience, that video, the feedback, overwhelmingly positive, but ton of judgmental, which,
Shame, shame, shame.
yeah, like really
Sure.
easy to tap into that shame, which thankfully I've been able to not. I think I've been doing my inner Brie of like getting a little sassy when I comment
Thank
back and
you
not
for
letting them bother
making
me.
me go viral with all your crappy
Right. Keep it
comments.
coming. There have been a few people I've blocked because they want to antagonize. I'm like, I don't have time for you. But anyway, I digress. So the difference between that doctor's experience, which was on a Tuesday, and then on Wednesday of the same week, I went to UC Irvine for my initial clinical trial meeting with the clinical trial team. And the surgeon walked in, sat down with us for like 35, 45 minutes, answering all of our questions. But literally, one of the first things he said in looking at my, I brought in my 90 days of hypertension information. He had all my medical records. And he said, "You've been working really hard. If
Wow.
you hadn't been doing all of these things with your diet and your exercise, your numbers would look so much worse. So I'm really impressed. Like you've been doing all the things and I know these numbers would be worse if you weren't. This must have been really hard for you."
Wow.
And, I kind of shared my Mother's Day story. We're like, yes, we had to do Mother's Day in bed. My kids were happy about it, but I wasn't. And he's like, God, that must just be really hard. That's all. I mean,
Wow.
the weight that takes off, like that all of that pent up like shame that you carry with you, especially with something like hypertension.
Mhm.
Hypertension carries that you must be eating wrong, you must not be
Right.
exercising, you must be fat. Like hypertension, I feel like a lot of people carry the belief that this is a problem you've caused yourself, kind of like type 2 diabetes. A lot of people have that. Oh, well, if you just, didn't eat sugar then and exercise, you wouldn't have type 2 diabetes. Sure, there are some hypertension, some type 2 diabetes that's absolutely caused by lifestyle, but there is some that is not.
Right.
It's genetic or it's anatomical defects or it's your body's going haywire, blah, 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 blah. And so, but even if your lifestyle did cause that stuff, like we don't need to shame people into it. They know they're beating themselves up enough. So, that being said, this is why I've been thinking about shame so much of what a different appointment it was. And then I wasn't on my, you know, front foot, like my affective filter in a doctor's appointment is usually like up almost to the like, okay, what am I going to have to fight with today? Like, that was all gone. And we
Yeah.
just had a conversation. And there was one point where the doctor was talking and saying all of this medical stuff. And I just said, "Can I stop you right there for just a second?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, sure. Well, I didn't understand what you just said. Can you clarify that a little bit more?" "Oh, yeah." And he went into a long clarification. I didn't feel bad asking him to stop because I knew with his mannerism that he was just going to talk to me. And so I think what I want to really dig into today, Bree, we're not going to change doctors. You and I, we cannot change doctors. That's out of our control. But there are a couple of things in our control. One, balloons.
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 I love it.
One is the shame that we carry into the doctor's office
Hmm.
and managing that, because when we come in with all of that baggage, it does change the conversation a bit. It changes the way we hear the doctor, we respond to the doctor. We can't change the doctor. They're going to have their preconceived notions, but it does change the way that we interact with them. And two, how do we find doctors? If we have the luxury of having options for our
Hmm.
doctors, it is a luxury, it is a privilege. But if we do, then number two, how do we find the doctors that do not compound our shame that's already there? How do we find those doctors that are empathetic, that maybe even trauma informed? Like a lot of us carry a lot of body dysmorphia trauma for
Yeah.
a lot of reasons, whether there was, you know, sexual abuse in your childhood or eating disorders, or, I mean, the list is so huge of how when somebody comes at you and says, you're fat and that's all your problems, the trauma that brings up and the spiral, the shame spiral. So I think those are my two things I wanted to talk about today. What about you? What would you like to really dig into?
Well, I think some of the shame and stuff, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, where I don't like to look in the mirror. I don't like to look at myself on camera, but I also carry a lot of shame for feeling bad that I don't like to look at myself.
Mm.
Like I'm saying that because I'm heavy with all of this water weight and all this other thing, and I'm so quick to say, I'm not fat, it's water weight,
Yeah.
that is also shameful, that I should be like, I I'm beautiful at any size that I am. Why do I feel so bad about myself? And that can't be helping me either. For I mean, I go back and forth. I can't wear the clothes that I use. I none of my wardrobe fits me anymore, right?
Mhm.
So I had to go get new clothes that would fit me, and I don't like my size, and I'm ashamed of it. And I shouldn't be ashamed of it because I know a ton of people, all shapes and sizes, and I love them, and they're beautiful exactly how they are. And I feel bad that I am so judgmental on myself, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so fat. Like this is so horrible. How can I even be on camera? Oh my god, I showed a video today in an orientation I was doing, and I looked at myself and I'm like, "Oh, like I can't even look at myself. Like that's so bad." And then I felt bad for feeling bad about, oh my gosh, it's a horrible hamster
Mhm.
wheel that I'm on.
Mhm.
But then I'm also fighting with, I can't do anything.
Mhm.
And I also hate asking for help. So when I do ask for help and then I don't get it because, I got kids and they don't always help like you want them to, I have to do it. Then I go and do it myself, but I have to do it little by little by little by little because I can't push my body too far. I don't want them to find me, having a heart attack on the floor.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful. And then I found this new bruise on my leg that's big and purple and I don't know where it came from. And I'm like, what's going on? And that concerns me.
Mhm.
It's so there's like I just this it feels like a tornado in my like
Yeah.
how I'm feeling about myself. And so I want to get beyond that and that shame of what I'm feeling, because to me that clouds what I need to say, what I need to do
Mhm.
to get the care that I need,
Yeah.
and then I get mad, and then I want to be like, I'm going to demand the doctor put me in the hospital for 2 weeks so I can go on a furosemide drip, so I can have it twice a day. And then I can come out and lose 90 pounds in 10 days, like I've done in the past. And then they won't recognize me. And then they're going to be like, huh. So I wonder what's going on. And then they still won't solve it. Right. And so then 2 years later, I'll have to go through and do the whole thing again. So I'm frustrated. I'm tired of being, ashamed of who I am. I'm tired of being shamed by my doctor. They'll say things like, "Oh, you seem very emotional," right?
Mhm.
Or we should calm down. Like, I don't like your control tactics. Like, I don't that's not my deal, right? Or they always are so rushed that I feel like anything I do, like, I have like, okay, you've got 4.5 minutes and we're going to be counting it to the second so that you can only tell them the top two things that you need to talk about. And you can only use it in one sentence. It's like
Yep.
you're playing in Jeopardy or something.
Yep.
Like you only get like this small amount of time, and the magnitude of what you're trying to say to the doctor, the magnitude of what you're trying to fix is your life and
Mhm.
living and breathing. And how long is my heart going to continue pumping blood to this massive body that is holding onto every water drop I put in it?
Yeah.
What are you going to like? How do I convey the urgency of that to, like, my days are ticking and they're going a lot faster because we're not addressing what needs
Yep.
to be addressed.
Yep.
And that's a scary thing that I don't think any of us want to think about, but it is our reality.
Yeah. I mean, that was when I was like sobbing on the couch in the doctor's office. It was, I, why aren't my doctors taking this seriously? I literally have organ damage. My eyes are being affected. My heart is being affected. My kidneys are being affected. Who knows what else is being affected? I'm a stroke risk. this is serious to me. This is my life. I'm only 51. I have a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. I'd love to live a long, healthy life with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrifying to me that there is evidence in scans of damage. This isn't something I'm making up. And still the doctors are like, it's not that big of a deal. You're fine.
Yeah.
Just lose some weight and don't be so anxious. Let's get you some behavioral
It's your
therapy.
anxiety. Well, yeah. Of course,
I'm like,
of course,
it
it's
just blows me away.
anxiety.
Like, it's I
The
would
anxiety
like to
is
challenge
there.
doctors. Don't mention the anxiety. It's almost it's a non-issue.
Right. It's right
Anxiety,
here in this office, talking to you, not
exactly,
getting answers. This is the
exactly.
anxiety because my anxiety is because I'm worried for my life. I
Yep.
am drowning and you are throwing me tea bags. You are throwing me like a pot holder. And it's
And then you almost feel shame in your response to their lack of caring as well, of like, it's almost gaslighting yourself of, well, am I making a mountain out of a molehill? Is this really not, is cortical thinning on my kidneys really not that big of a deal? Is having left ventricular hypertrophy in my heart not really that big of a deal? Is having ocular hypertension not really that big of a deal? Is being a stroke risk really not that big of a deal? Maybe I'm making it a bigger deal than it actually is because they don't seem worried about it. So then you start gaslighting yourself and feeling shame of, am I hypochondriac? Do I have Munchausen's? Am I like attention seeking? Which is ridiculous to me. Like anybody who thinks patients are making an appointment with their doctor, paying their copay, sitting in the doctor's office for 10 frustrating minutes of conversation if we're lucky because we're attention seeking, go pound sand. Like
fasting from the
there's
night before,
so many other ways to get attention.
Yeah.
Like that's just not happening.
and and that's so incredibly true. I would love to just get up and be healthy and run around and go back to the life that I loved, where I felt good about myself and I was able to go out and play with my granddaughter or run around with my dogs and take walks and do all the things that I used to do and keep my house clean, all of those different things that I had a business that I've made a lot of soap and a lot of lotion. I don't even make it for myself now. And I did a lot of different things that I can't do anymore. I look around my office and I'm like, oh, well, I should be putting my Christmas stuff up soon. And all I do is I bought an old film reel that I found at a thrift store, which I love because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But so it just sits on the desk right in front of all my other junk. I'm like, I want to do things. So I don't choose to sit like this.
Yeah.
But then in my brain, it says, you should be able to fix this. You should be able to do more to make this okay. I shouldn't need this much help. I can do all these things. I should be able to, why can't I fix this? How am I such a failure that I've let this happen to myself? And that's shame. I have shame in that. Like, I'm stronger than this and I'm better than this. And how did I let this happen to myself? And that is probably one of the hardest things that I personally deal with because I'm a strong woman, right? We don't crumble. We don't fall apart. We can handle anything. I'm the first person doing whatever I can for my friends and fighting for them. A friend of mine who's a drag star. She's amazing. And her dream was to do public speaking. And she went out and she did public speaking. She did this event and she was so excited and it went so well. And then she had people cancel because they weren't ready for her message. But her message, and my first thing to her was, don't let them dim your light. They are not important enough. Your light is way too bright and shining way too strongly. You are brilliant. You are smart. You need to be on that stage. You need to be sharing your story, and you need to keep sharing your story until the right people hear you. And I think that's what this podcast is about. That's what we struggle about, that we just need to keep sharing
Yeah.
our message, keep sharing our story until the right people hear it.
Yep. Yep. I agree. And we need to walk into that exam room, leaving shame at the door as much as we possibly can. Having the confidence to know we are doing everything we possibly can to manage our health in the best way we can. And we are there sitting in that cold room on that paper, crinkly paper under those terrible lights, because we're asking for help, and there is no shame in asking for help. And that person sitting across from us with that medical degree went to school for years and years and years to help people. And so there is no shame in that, asking that person for help. We are not wasting their time. We are there, asking for their expertise, which I think is an honor. To go to somebody and say, you have expertise, I need help, please help me. It's an honor to say, I recognize your expertise, I recognize your wisdom. Also, knowing we've done everything we can, and not beating yourself up over that one piece of pizza you had, or that sip of wine you had from your friend's wine glass, or the fact that as much as you would love to go on a 3-mile walk every single day, sometimes your body will not let you even walk a quarter of a mile, but you are doing everything you can that your body is letting you, and you're pushing yourself and walking into that room, head held high, knowing that you are there at that appointment doing the right thing, because you are managing your health and you are seeing somebody who is supposed to be your partner in that. And that is what I am really working hard to take with me every time. And I think I used to have, at some level, at least not fully sitting in that power, but I used to have that much better. And it was this year in Kaiser, I got beat up over and over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where, like, my shame spiral walking into the doctor's appointment was just too much. And going to that appointment at UC Irvine Medical Center with the clinical trial team and being treated with such respect and dignity, like, opened my eyes to the fact that that I've been experiencing this past year, this is not normal, and it's not okay, and it's not right. And there are doctors and providers out there that see you as a human and want to treat you well.
Yep.
And when you are treated like that, how it makes you feel is incredible.
Yeah.
So that's what brought this up today, was like,
That's
the night and day difference. And you can see it in my face in the videos. When you look at my Wednesday video and my Tuesday video, swollen face, sobbing, crying, Tuesday, Wednesday, happy, joyful. I'm fasting because I couldn't eat. And I was at the doctor we were there for 3 hours, plus the commute there and the commute back. So it was, it was like,
day.
It was the whole day. So I hadn't eaten anything, but I was like sparkling and joyful and hopeful, like completely different person because of the way the staff treated me at UC Irvine versus how I was treated at Kaiser.
Isn't that amazing?
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. And that means that, and we don't want to bash all doctors. That's not our goal here.
Nope.
But we do want to give us the tools to demand the care. That is the thing. We don't have to be agreeable, but we have to get the care that we need. And that is why this is so important, is we as women, especially, we're the last one to ask for help. We're the last, we suck it up, buttercup, all the time, right? That's like a famous line. Suck it up, buttercup, get through it. Okay. And take care of ourselves last. And then when we finally do get in and we want to get some answers and we want to have a doctor that's willing to work with us, our frustration and our shame can be overwhelming. But I think what I want our listeners to understand is they're not broken. You
Mhm.
know, they're not broken. And their symptoms are not imaginary. It's not anxiety.
Mhm.
It's not you know your body, and when your body is saying, hey, something isn't right and it's not
Yep.
what they're originally telling me, don't gaslight yourself.
Yep.
Get out there and say, I know something more is wrong, because we hear stories all the time of, wow, yeah, there is a lot more to this than what, they originally said. And had I listened to that first doctor, I may not be here right now. I don't want to be I listened to my first doctor and I'm not here right now. I want to see, my kids all get married. I want to see, or whatever they choose to do. I want to see, them grow older. I don't want to be the mom that died young.
Yep.
And I lost my mom really young. Um, and she was 65, but she had a lot of stuff she never went in and got taken care of at
Mhm.
all. And, it's, I think that if there had been a louder voice in the room, if I had been there and there had been a louder voice in the room, I would have made sure. And so that's why I fought so hard for my father-in-law, because he didn't have a voice at the end and I needed to be the voice, and I screamed and hollered and stomped my feet. And so I need to fight like that for myself.
Yep.
I'm not broken, but
Nope.
I do need help, and I do need to not feel ashamed of where I'm at right now, so that when I do walk in to see my cardiologist, I can have the conversation I need to have,
Yes.
not necessarily the conversation that he wants.
Right. Yep.
So
I love
that's where
that.
I'm at. I love
I
that you're
I
getting
I
help.
really Me too. Me too. And it's like I have this giant fear right now that somehow I'm not, because with the study at UCI, like you've got to there's hoops you've got to jump through. So
Mhm.
I've at least gotten through 3 levels,
That's
and I
great.
go on the 19th, and it's my next one. Um, and then if that is good, if the 19th is good, then I'm in the study.
Nice.
But there's almost that like quote unquote test anxiety. I'm using very lightly, like anxiety is not like, but like where you're like, are they going to accept me? Are they
I
not? Are
hope
they
I
going to,
get it.
am I going
I
to
really,
qualify?
really hope I get it. Trust me, I'm a
But,
I'm a Broadway girl right now. So
right. But here's the thing that I keep having to tell myself is if I don't get accepted into the study at this point, it is because they have found a primary cause for my hypertension to where the hypertension is secondary. And it is a primary cause that their clinical trial doesn't treat. But that means I have evidence of a primary cause, and I have access to this top-notch medical team
Mhm.
that they'll either treat me. There are some things that they'll do. I won't be able to be in the trial, but some of the things that they'll do, or they'll be able to refer me to the people that can treat it. So that's a positive outcome if I'm not in the trial.
It
And
is.
then if I do make it to the trial, I'm getting treated by this incredible medical team that is taking me very seriously. I'm only one of 15 people in the United States that gets to be in this trial. It's a worldwide trial, and each country gets a certain amount of people in it. And I
Wow.
get to be one of 15 people, and I get to be a woman in my 50s, kind of making medical history and being part of this trial and helping patients with hypertension be treated with dignity and be having hypertension being treated as something more than quote unquote just a lifestyle issue, as it so often is now that it's seen as a moral lifestyle failing if you have hypertension. But because mine started so early and so young, like it wasn't a lifestyle issue. And it doesn't matter what I do in my lifestyle. It's not making it better. So like for people, like I get to be a part of carrying that conversation forward of saying let's look beyond the blame game with patients.
Mhm.
And our bodies are very, 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 very complex, and let's treat them as that. And give patients the dignity they deserve to be treated as people who want to live in good health. Are there people out there that don't have a problem destroying their bodies? Sure. But I don't think it's not the majority of us, and it's not the majority of us that are seeking medical attention and are frustrated with our medical care. We want healthy bodies, and we are doing
Absolutely.
everything we can.
Yeah.
And I just wish we could walk into that doctor's exam room and have the doctor take the perspective of this person wants to do the right thing for their health, and have us be able to have the perspective of the doctor, this doctor wants to do the right thing for my health. Like somewhere that message got completely distorted to where a doctor walks in and says, this patient stinks and is not living a healthy lifestyle and has no idea, what a vegetable is or how to walk, and is hurting their bodies. And the patient walks in the room and goes, this doctor just wants money and is in it for the money and isn't in it for the patients. And somehow the messaging just got really screwed up on both sides. And it's a really simple message on both sides. We both want the right thing.
We both, yeah. I really hope that is the case. And I think we just keep searching until we find the connection. And I'm excited for you. I mean, to be
Me
able
too.
to at least maybe get some kind of answer, regardless of the outcome of yes or no, you're going to get something. You're going to
Yes.
get some kind of an answer or something from them that can help. That is a huge win. So I'm excited for that.
Me
Either
too.
way, it's going to work out.
Can I
where
tell you
things-
something funny, Brie?
Sure. And then we're
I
going to
kinda-
wrap things up.
Then we'll wrap things up. I did a Brie, by the way. At least I think you would be proud of this. I think I was channeling you. So I sent a message to every single one of my doctors at Kaiser who put in their notes that my hypertension is caused by anxiety. I sent every single one of them a message and said, I have been accepted into a UCI clinical trial for resistant hypertension because they have found that my resistant hypertension is caused by blah, 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 blah. And I would like for you to take out of any of the notes that you've made that my resistant hypertension is caused by anxiety.
Love it.
Every one of them.
Every single last
had
one.
something-
And I'm going to check.
Oh, but they had something snippy to say, every one of them. One of them was like, well, I can't make any changes to your medical records unless you come in. I'm like, well, I'm not wasting my time and energy in coming in. One of them was, I can't take anxiety off your medical record because you're on Zoloft, so you have anxiety. Another one was, what doctor are you trying to send this to?
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Jeez.
And I'm like, you? And the doctor said, well, I noticed you sent this to multiple doctors. I said, yes, I sent it to everyone that said my hypertension was based on anxiety. Take it out of my record. Never heard back. But that's what I did.
Good.
You're petty.
Accountability. Yeah, be a petty bitch. I love it. I'm all about it. That's my middle name. And I think we do the IDGAF attitude. That's right. That's right. I don't give an F about it. We're going to be here again probably in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think
To do
every 2
another
weeks.
episode. We're going to be doing some more fun things with this podcast because we are having way too much fun, and we hope that you are too. If you see this or a clip of this anywhere, please leave us your story or a question or a kind comment. And if you have something hateful to say, drop it down there in the chat too. And we probably won't respond, but we appreciate you helping push us viral. Thanks so much for watching today. Tiffany, thank you. I'll see you guys next week. Bye,
Or we might
everybody.
respond in a pithy way.
Expect the snark.
We're
That's
feeling
the way it is.
snazzy.